It will probably be Darren Butler, I would imagine, maybe the man that will take it, or maybe Darren O'Leary himself. But it is a free in, an early chance for Bruff to take the lead, and it looks to me as if it is Dara Butler that is going over to take it. It is indeed Dara Butler. It's straight in front of the goal, and you would have to back your house, and Bruff being a point to 1 point to no score up after just 45 seconds, and it sure is Dara Butler from a free. Puck out from James Kelleher, who used for many years play out the field. A long one, it breaks down here in front of us. Micheál Reedy trying to get onto him, and he has got it at the second attempt from a hand pass from Peter McMahon out to David Reedy. A neatly struck shot by David Reedy, and David Reedy doesn't happen very often. That's one for the record. He just missed just wide, so it's a point for Bruff and a wide for Dromin Athlacca. Shot puck out is taken to fullback Jason Hayes. Jason Hayes drives it down long down the field. Dermot Dennehy, the tall figure of Dermot Dennehy, going high for it, but the ball breaks and it's cleared out there first of all by Peter Ryan, and now it's David Reedy on the attack. David Reedy striking from out over on the left, and it's gone wide to the left and wide. So that's two early wides for Dromin Athlacca, who would have the advantage of whatever breeze there is blowing here, as I said, from left to right. Now Eric Finn is pucking the ball out. It comes down, it's broken here in front of us by Dara Butler to Kevin Bonner. Kevin Bonner sends it down right down the centre, deflected by Dermot Dennehy, but the ball has broken and is picked up there by Shane Rabbit, and now it's offloaded to Mark Fitzpatrick. Mark Fitzpatrick sends it down the centre in the direction of David Griffin. David Griffin sending it back. It was intended for Mark Fitzpatrick, but it's won over there by Bruff, and it's Bruff on the attack now. It's Dermot Dennehy neatly picking it up and sending it over the bar and doubling Bruff's lead. Dermot Dennehy is the man that got one. Dermot Dennehy, of course, who captained Bruff to county under-19 success last year, Premier, sending over that point. Now we have Dromin Athlacca trying to get an attack going. Shane Rabbit sending it down, and the ball is delivered up into the corner here. A battle here between Jack Fitzgibbon and Patrick Finn. The ball is loose at the moment, but it's Peter McMahon is battling for it there. Timmy McGrath, who is the referee today, isn't happy with what has happened, and he has given a free out to Bruff, which Paul Brown is standing over. Paul takes it long, to his opposite number. Peter Ryan says thank you very much, and he drives it right down into the full forward line. Eric Finn has to come off his line and clears it out to Paul Brown, who's waiting all alone. Directs it into the centre of the field to Dara Butler. Dara Butler driving it up here into the left corner, where it's snatched by David Brown. David Brown sheds off two tackles, and then he is sent it wide, but the referee says he was fouled. There was certainly a coming together there with two Dromin Athlacca players, and Dara Butler will be going over now to get his second point and his team's third point. And what we have is we're in the 5th minute. Dara Butler, and he sends it straight over the bar, no doubt whatsoever about it. And it's now Bruff 3 points, Dromin Athlacca no score, and we're going to have a puck out, which is taken very, very quickly by James Kelleher, but won here by Bruff. Dermot Dennehy laying it off to Kevin Bonner. Kevin Bonner is racing through, shooting for goal, and it's only into the hands of James Kelleher, who happily brings it out, delivers it to Peter Ryan. Peter Ryan is fouled, and with that I will hand you over to the main commentator for the evening, Ger Downs.
Thanks indeed, Matt, and forgive me if I'm ever so slightly out of breath. Huge traffic delays in Kilmallock. I'm parked back near the church, so I've had to run from the church to here, so I'm getting my steps in for today. So we're just 5 minutes in here. It's the Premier Intermediate semi-final. And it's Micheál Reedy striking this one long, down, trying to find David Breen at the edge of the square. It breaks from him. And well, that ruck is in there. Several players trying to get it in. These conditions will be poor on the ground this afternoon. Lovely new scoreboard in the background in Kilmallock, as that looks like Dara Butler, who's coming away with it now to Kevin Bonner. Lovely spin from Bonner, trying to find his inside line, and referee Timmy McGrath says he sees a foul, and it's going to be a great opportunity here for Bruff to nail the first, their fourth score of the day.
Yeah, I think it was a late foul that Timmy McGrath picked up there, and he's giving the free from where the ball landed. Now Dara Butler has been impeccable from frees since the start. He's got two out of 2, and his 2 points from frees are sandwiching a very good point from play by Dahi Dennehy. But it is Dermot Dennehy. But you would bank on Dara Butler to put this over the bar. His style is a bit unorthodox, but certainly very, very effective.
Ooh, I think Matt, he's gone to the right hand side and wide, and again, just to let listeners or viewers know that there is a bit of a breeze coming down the field in Kilmallock, and it favours the men in blue this afternoon. That's David Reedy with a lovely touch, and as he took it forward, he was impeded, and well, good touch from David Reedy there. Was facing the opposite goals, just took it on his hurley on the run, and now an opportunity for him to get his side off the mark.
Yeah, this will be David. David has already 2 shots wide from play, so he will be glad, to get that monkey off his back and find the target at the third attempt.
So Reedy does, and he nails it. So straight over the bar for David Reedy, and he gets his side off the mark here after 7 minutes of play. So 3 points to 1 in favour of Bruff. Of course, near neighbours, Dromin and Athlacca and Bruff, and indeed bitter and great rivals. As the ball comes long, James Finn, Paul Reardon trying to get his hand in it, but this is Peter McMahon who's moving away. Lots of bodies there. Back into the middle to Micheál Reedy. Reedy short inside. Good position taken up here by David Griffin, and it's going right, and it's going harmlessly right and going wide. So good win on the puck out for Dromin and Athlacca, but not quite a good return on the strike.
No, David Reedy, David Griffin, he knew the very night he struck it that it was off target, and it was really, really off target.
Eric Finn's puck out just holds there, and that's a great bat off there, and it's Micheál Reedy who's onto it now, favouring his left with the breeze, but again it goes that bit short. Finn spills it, but he's under no real pressure. He again strikes high, and you can see that ball is just holding in the air, and it's Colin Madden looking to get his hand onto it, but it's the opposite 10, Daniel Scully, that's coming inside, coming to get onto his right. He's made a lot of ground here, but clever, and that looks like Kevin Bonner, who just held his ground as Paul Brown sweeps this one long down to David Brown. But again, as the ball hits the ground, it's Dromin and Athlacca who favour it, and it's Dermot Dennehy just impeding, and it looks like Shane Fitzgibbon who's coming out there, youngster Fitzgibbon, Skull Pole student in Kilfinnan just last year, and strong boy anchoring the defence here at right half-back.
Yeah, Shane Fitzgibbon, I think he's standing over the free now. No, he's not. It's David Reedy is taking the free. It's long,
and again, it's gone left and wide. So again, there have been a few opportunities, but they've haven't nailed them.
I think the breeze is playing tricks with him out there. If you look at the tricolour immediately over the clubhouse down here to our left, sometimes it seems to be blowing direct out the field.
And we're watching Colin Madden here as he puts this one into the edge of the square, and Madden was fouled after he struck the ball away, and it's Timmy McGrath who's sharp on the whistle there. A good take from Madden. It was a short ball played to Patrick Finn, delivered up the line here, and when we mention the name Finn, of course, Matt, we think of Sean Finn, a national loss to Bruff.
National loss, absolutely a huge loss to the entire stability of the Bruff team. But they knew from before the campaign started that he would have to be out, so he's down here immediately to our left now, poking every ball with his teammates, but that they just have to build without him. So Dara Butler has increased the lead there now. It's now got 4 points, and 3 of those have come from Dara Butler, 1 from Dromin.
And Athlacca not using the breeze, trying to find David Griffin in the middle here. It comes back to Peter Ryan, the captain of the team, hitting it long, but it's Paul Brown who sat in there, and he has picked it up really well. Patrick Finn emerging from the back with Dermot Dennehy off to Kevin Bonner at this side, and it's Bonner looking up the field, trying to see what forward is moving for him. It's Bobby O'Brien that looks like the frame of it is. And in behind him quickly is number 13, David Brown. And Brown is looking to turn this way and that. He gives it to O'Brien. Again, the angle is tight. It comes back out. This is Danny O'Leary. Super block by David Reedy, who's been very deep in his defence. It's anyone's ball on the ground now. Conditions, as we said, are sticky. Dromin Athlacca with the breeze, trying to clear their rear guard at the moment. And this is Shawnee Murnan. And Murnan is blocked as his ball goes out over the line.
He will be disappointed with that because, but you know, it was a situation where nobody really made themselves available. So it's going to be a line ball to Dromin Athlacca.
So we're just looking to see what player is making their way towards it. And it's not Shane Fitzgibbon. He's on 5 there in front in picture, and with him is Paul O'Riordan, of course, 2 stars of the Limerick Academy for many years. Shane, a current star, and Paul, of course, a Limerick under 20 just a number of years ago. As this one is long to Jack Fitzgibbon. Good hand by Fitzgibbon, out ahead of Patrick Finn, off on his left, but good work by Finn. I think he just put enough pressure on, may even have got a half a hook, and good win by Fitzgibbon, but no return yet from that inside line up there, Matt.
No return, and the scoreline is 4 points to 1, and the wides count is 5 points to 1 in favour of Dromin Athlacca, which you know, after what, less than 12 minutes, Joe, it is a worrying statistic.
Sean O'Leary off to David Griffin. Griffin planting the feet. This should be a white flag, and it is. Good score for David Griffin, and Sean O'Leary just did really well, moving that ball from the outside channel back into the middle. 4 points to 2. 12 minutes gone here in Kilmallock, and it's Eric Finn again facing into the teeth of the breeze. And let's not just forget that today. You'll see it on the puck out. It doesn't even reach the far 65. Ball is on the ground. Kevin Bonner is on the ground after it, and Dara Butler wins it, but just a bit too hard by Sean O'Leary. And Shawnee O'Leary, he's far from his corner forward berth out there, putting pressure on. And we look at the management team for Bruff underneath us here. Ray Horrigan, Jerry O'Connor, of course, of fame Newtown, Shandrum, County Cork, with the Bruff Stars. Adrian O'Shea, Sean Finn, Paddy O'Leary, all involved, hoping to get Bruff into a county final this afternoon. And well, this is Dara Butler, and he struck them well early on. This mirror is going to hold short. It breaks in around the square, and that's David Reedy, who not for the first time in this opening 13 minutes has found himself in the defensive duty. Back there to his number 7, Shane Barrett. Off to Fitzgibbon, who's at the far side now. He's drilling this one long to David Breen, and he's ahead of Jason Hayes. Breen twisting and turning, but strike just leaves him off, and it goes to the right hand side and wide. And you know, that's good shepherding there from Jason Hayes, Matt.
Yeah, Jason has found a new lease of life at full back. He has reverted back there this year. As you know, he used to play wing back and wing midfield for much of his career, but he certainly has been doing very, very well at
well, David Reedy fancies this one from inside his own 65. He hits it high and in, and we have a white flag from the stick of David Reedy, and he puts the minimum between them now.
We have the point of the score of the game so far, Joe, an absolutely excellent score though. Jonathan, he did get a good score early on, but that's from distance. Typically David Reedy.
Short to Patrick Finn, hitting it long. Colin Madden, big frame goes up, but the ball hits the ground, and it's Peter Ryan who's there, and well, Ryan bravely puts himself in front of it, and it's a free out, says Timmy McGrath. And this is where we have a free taker coming, and will it be David Reedy? It will. It will be David Reedy who will take this inside his own 65. And Matt, just to bring you some news, I can tell you that Fiona Castlemahan have won the famous relegation battle of the West rivals this afternoon. It went all the way to penalties in Newcastle West. Nothing between the teams, and it was the men in blue and white who retained their intermediate status as we watch David Reedy, another team in blue and white, just converting that score, and it's a level game here in Kilmallock. Just in the opening quarter comes to a close. And it's Eric Finn looking around for options. The last couple of puck outs haven't gone the way of his team, and he's finding Paul O'Riordan with this one. Good win by Shane Fitzgibbon off to David Griffin, but it's Kevin Bonner who tries to tidy up. It's that little bit more sticky under the stand here. Good pressure from Sean O'Leary there, coming out from the inside. O'Leary stepping outside, looking for David Reedy, but it's Fitzgibbon he finds. He'll fancy it, loses his footing as he does, and again another poor wide to that right hand side. Another poor wide to that right hand side it goes, and Eric Finn looking to get it back in quick, and Darrow O'Brien is an option outside him, but decides to settle and hold. And again it's coming down to Paul O'Riordan and looking for somebody to win a break. O'Riordan puts it back into the middle, but more alert is Peter McMahon, and sharper as he moves away, trying to find David Breen in there again with Jason Hayes. Breen gets his hand to it, but it's spilt, and it's Hayes who's there. We've got company now, and the company is Patrick Finn off to that looks like Kevin Bonner, and Bonner clears it, but again it's Peter Ryan who has it to David Reedy. He scored one from a few minutes ago from this position. He's having a go at this one. He's walking away because he likes it. And David Reedy has given Dromin Athlacca the advantage here after 16 minutes by another beautiful score, Matt. That's 2 in a row from David Reedy. 5 points to 4 to Dromin Athlacca.
Absolutely, and you know, it's such a contrast to the first 10 minutes when Bruff were basically bossing the game, and now Dromin Athlacca have come right into it. David Reedy is having a huge influence there in midfield now, but the wind is a bigger factor now, believe it or not, than it was at throwing time, because it has strengthened considerably, and we can see it even here. It's reflected on the touchline, but looking at the tricolour now is blowing straight down into the middle mountain.
And it's Danny O'Leary who has it, and O'Leary is fouled. Well, I think the ball from Colin Madden, everybody was expecting it to drift out and wide, and it was O'Leary who was the sharpest, just kept it in play, and as he was turned, he was pulled. There was danger there, and I think you're right, Matt, and you know, we've mentioned it a lot, but again, just to reinstate the point, that breeze is quite significant, and we can feel it an awful lot more in our position up here now, and if we look to the flag on the clubhouse in Kilmallock, we can see that it's blowing vigorously.
It's absolutely blowing. It's quite strong. Whether it's cooking up a shower now or not, we don't know. The sky is clear, but certainly the breeze is becoming a greater factor. But while all that is happening, Dara Butler has equalised for Bruff from a free.
And it's 5 each as this one goes away, beating the 45 at the far side, and it's Patrick Finn who comes to take the touch away from Jack Fitzgibbon, and it's just down underneath us, and it's been well battled for both teams, and it's Paul O'Riordan who was adjudged to have been fouled, and O'Riordan held up in the tackle there. And again, Bruff will be under no pressure to take this one. A lot of the crowd seems to have cleared away from the first game, and well, we have the die-hard supporters of both clubs here. County semi-final, county final berth at stake. Who will be in that this afternoon? It's Paul Brown striking this one long, hitting it towards the D, and there's a lot of bodies there, and again it breaks to the ground. Who's favoured? It's Dromin Athlacca who have the most amount of people there, and it's Mark Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick just came in strong and shipped a heavy tackle, and a game yet to break into a period of flow as we just wait some running repairs, and it looks like Shane Rabbit is going to have some being attended to here by a medic, and we're just waiting for Timmy McGrath to blow the whistle and let David Reedy come at this. I mean, again, David Reedy is on his D here. What kind of range does he have? He's going for it. It's going to come right into Eric Finn's hand, or is it? Oh, good hand by the Bruff goalkeeper. He did really well there. That was just dropping underneath the crossbar, and Finn stood brave and strong and won the free on the back of it.
Just a flash news from the Gaelic rounds, and very exciting county semi-final there. The score deep into the second half is June 23 points, na PIHC 217.
Well, that's on a knife edge right there at the moment, and well, it's not too much dissimilar here, but we've got an awful longer way to go than they have in the Gaelic grounds. That game was a 3 o'clock throw-in. Of course, we're a 4 o'clock throw-in. It's coming underneath us. Paul Finn, Diarmuid Dennehy behind, but it races through them all, and it's Peter Ryan back to David Reedy, trying to pick a full forward, and he's going to get David Breen on it, and that's a good hand from David Breen. He's got a man on the loop, but he just can't get it off to him, and Breen is tugged back, and Timmy McGrath not allowing that advantage for David Griffin, and it's going to be a chance, and I would dare I say a score for David Reedy.
Yeah, I think you could back your house on it. That's without wanting to give the commentators curse on David, but I think David can rise above all those sort of things, but he's stepping up to this. He's anxiously waiting for it. Now we have 21 minutes gone. Strong breeze, I think between now and the next 10 minutes. It's a 5 or 6 point breeze at this stage.
Yeah, and that is it. Yes, that's great stuff here from everybody. And we're just awaiting this free to be taken, and it's David Reedy lining it up, and well, it's easy pickings for a man of the calibre of David Reedy, and he extends the advantage. He puts Dromin Athlacca back into the lead. So
and it was easy meat, as you said there, for David Reedy, but I think they need to build on this lead. Good catch by Diarmuid Dennehy.
Eric Finn going for height, and well, he goes for height because he has height, and the frame of Diarmuid Dennehy and Bruff are playing inside the 21 now, and it's Danny O'Leary. He's the man they'll be looking to. Clean pair of heels from Danny O'Leary, trying to square it across. Very good hook back there, and that looks like a combination of Shane Scully and Mark Fitzpatrick. And well, Danny O'Leary, he is a live wire. This field is a little bit sticky, may not suit his kind of speed today.
Yeah, a bit sticky today, but that's all down to the heavy rain that we've had. So we've had some very heavy showers. So
it's Colin Madden feeding it through to Sean Murnan, trying to break away from the tackle of William Dorr, and Murnan is fouled.
Yeah.
They don't like it underneath us here, Dromin Athlacca.
No, I think that was probably a 50-50 one, I would say, Jar, in my book. William Dorr was coming, and it's was the contact made by the Bruff player. That's very, very interesting. Hard one to call now, but as I always say, Timmy McGrath was much nearer to it than we were.
Different referees will give you a different call in that
match.
Yeah,
but he was right up with it. So
charging. Others will say, well, it was being impeded as Dara Butler strikes it, and his second free of the afternoon goes to the left-hand side and wide.
Yeah.
So again, it's Dromin Athlacca still by a slender point. They have the breeze.
They'll be looking disappointed with that one because he has been impeccable so far, and that's a ball that's very well won over the far. Oh no, it's lost again, but it's Bruff back in possession.
It's Gavin Bracken who had it, but it was stolen away by David Griffin, and he gets his shot off, but umpires saying that it just went too much to the left. And again, Eric Finn, will he be going for height with this one? Not seem to find somebody. Well, he does now. He goes to Jason Hayes. So the Dromin Athlacca forward slow to reset as Hayes gives this one down, looking to get Paul O'Riordan onto it as it comes to the ground, but well battled by Shane Fitzgibbon, and Fitzgibbon is fouled as he tried to win that ball, and it's going to be free to David Reedy, and he got one a little bit more central a while ago. He's going to have an opportunity now to have a go again, and I would imagine he will use the breeze and have a puck off it. And it's Reedy who floats it. It's looking good. It's going to get all the way into the square, but referee is adjudging that Jack Fitzgibbon was in there before the ball landed. It was Shawnee O'Leary, the both corner forwards for Dromin Athlacca this afternoon, wearing the white helmets. It was Shawnee O'Leary, in fact. So
I think he's got the call right there, Jar. Spot on.
And it's Kevin Bonner who's looking to move this one crossfield. Lovely ball from Bonner, trying to find Colin Madden, but again a stern test there, and a good match up between Shane Rabbit and himself, and it's the number 7 with the white helmet that's the favoured on this one by Timmy McGrath. And again, Reedy, I think this is looking to go for it. I think this is within David's ambit. I think he's quite capable of landing it from here. I know it's deep inside in his own half. And Reedy strikes it. It goes long and high, and that's very good from David Reedy. 2 points the difference now as we approach the final 5.5 minutes of this opening half. It's an entertaining half wherever you're watching us this afternoon. We hope that you are enjoying it. It's, of course, the Premier Intermediate, Lions of Limerick County Premier Intermediate semi-finals. And it's Dromin Athlacca who have the lead at the moment, but they have a strong stiff breeze behind them as Dermot Dennehy is scooting this one in. Shawnee Moran is coming from midfield to try and get it up into his hand. It's on the ground, and Peter McMahon, a judge, pulled Sean Moran as that ball was coming up into his hand, and Timmy McGrath offering Dara Butler another opportunity. They're trying to find Dermot Dennehy on those puck outs. He's a big target man.
Big, powerful boy, and he's a very, very young player. He captained the under-19 team last year to win the Premier under-19 hurling championship. Got a cracking goal in the final, which was decisive. But he has made the transition, mind you, through the Junior B team that reached the All-Ireland final, which has stood him in good stead, and now he's doing it. He's doing it here at the intermediate level.
Butler, and well, it went all the way. A super score. It drifted in and all the way to the left-hand corner of James Kelleher's net. And we can see it on the replay. That was a super goal from Dara Butler, and it offers Bruff a 1 point advantage here in the opening half as Kevin Bonner wins the puck out as Patrick Finn was looking for a free. He had stood up, but Timmy McGrath said play away, and Paul Reardon touches the ball on the ground, and as quickly as Bruff had got the lead, it'll be cancelled out here, you would imagine, by David Reedy. And I thought I saw Paul Reardon moving to the middle. I had felt Dara Butler was going to square it to him because Dromin Athlacca hadn't picked it. I think maybe a bit of a misstrike, Matt, and it ended up in the net.
It ended up in the net. Now, having said that, it was a difficult ball to defend. A very, very difficult ball to defend when it was coming in, because you had a situation where there was defenders there leaving it to one another, and but while all this has happened, while we've been discussing it, David Reedy has equalised from a free for Dromin Athlacca.
Well, he has, and Dromin Athlacca looking to work it out on the far side, and it's Jason Hayes who is now launching ball to the full forward line. Coming is Bobby O'Brien, but it breaks off his hand as Peter Ryan tries to win the break. There's men and bodies on the ground. Who's going to come away with it? It's Danny O'Leary off to Sean Moran. Shot from Moran, and that's his white flag, and it's a great shot from Sean Moran. Racing through from midfield.
Yeah. Bruff will be absolutely delighted with the way they're finishing this first half. Now, I know there's another 3 minutes of regulation time plus whatever Timmy McGrath will decide to add on, but they will be delighted playing into the breeze, and it's a very fresh breeze there, as you flagged while ago, Ger. They will be delighted with the current situation.
Well,
and you're right, they're using Dermot Dennehy to great effect.
And they've just won another free, Matt, and a very important free. And it's in that half forward line again where Dromin Athlacca just not winning enough ball to move it through to that inside line, because you do feel that Jack Fitzgibbon, David Breed and Sean O'Leary, anything that's gone in there, they've looked really lively, but maybe that supply in the first half hasn't been as fluent.
They have, but if you look at the Bruff full back line of Dara O'Brien, Jason Hayes and Patrick Finn, Dara O'Brien, Jason and Patrick Finn, the two younger players of that trio, but what the experience that Jason Hayes is bringing in there,
It's Bobby O'Brien favoured on this one, but again the ball just comes off of his hand as Shane Fitzgibbon is coming away with it, and Fitzgibbon ships two challenges. He ships a third one, and Timmy McGrath has given him the advantage now, and he's trying to G up his team. They need something from somewhere, as I think we might have some sort of an update from the Gaelic grounds. I think that it's almost over there, if it's not over there, and I think the men from from East Limerick may have done something significant, but we'll bring you that score update in just a couple of moments' time, just to confirm, as David Reedy opts to go to his full forward line and to the hand of David Breen. It's broken away though, off that hand. It's just not sticking there. It's Shawnee O'Leary in picture now with Dara O'Brien, and Shawnee O'Leary has taken too many steps, and it's going to be a free out to the men in red and white, and they are the Bruff men.
The news is it's gone to extra time at the Gaelic grounds. It finished Doon 24 points, the PIHC 2 goals and 18 points.
Well, a game up for the ages, it seems, and the RTE cameras are there and capturing that, and of course the game in the Bruff venue just a number of weeks ago favoured the PIHC men by a margin, but it's the men from East Limerick who seem to have turned it around today. And well, we'll keep you informed of that if you're watching this broadcast. It goes to just inside the 45, and it's broken away, looking to favour Colin Madden now as he finds Dara Butler, but it's spilt, and it's Reedy who's coming. He'll fancy himself on his right here. It's going to go all the way. Will it tail? It won't. It'll hold, and it's with the hand of Eric Finn now as he decides to put ball from defence down to attack. And again, it's down to Dennehy, whose hand is coming up, but Sean Murnan didn't get the post signal as it's he takes it away from him, and it's off to Shane Rabbit again, trying to get it inside to Breen, but broken by Patrick Finn. That's of course brother of Sean. Off to Paul Brown, an All-Ireland winner in 2018, to Kevin Bonner, a stylish young hurler from the Morning Star River Club, as the ball is broken inside, and it's with David Brown as the tackles are coming in good and hard. It's David Reedy who's converged upon and fouled as Dara Butler puts his hands to his head, and he knows that David Reedy has got a huge chance of getting another score for his team here. The vital score coming obviously is in the goal, the shape of the goal, which came to the aforementioned Butler, but a chance to tie up the game here, Matt, coming into half time, and I think that's probably as much as they'll deserve.
That's as much as 'twill be as well, because it has ticked well into injury time. I think we have about nearly the first minute of injury time completed. So the clock over here to our right stops on the 30 minutes in the ground here, but we've got no indication from the fourth official as to what the extra time will be. Meanwhile, David Reedy has popped over an equaliser.
Fine score from David Reedy, and Timmy McGrath is not allowing Eric Finn to take the puck out as he calls time on this opening half here in Bruff after 1 minute and 23 seconds of that additional time. And it's, well, all square at half time as you were at the beginning of the game. It's Bruff 1 goal and 6, Dromin, 9 points. Story of the first half was that real flyer of an opener from the men in red and white, but storming back into it was Dromin, found themselves 2 points ahead, and then that Dara Butler goal that snuck in from a free about 35 yards out, over just down here to our left hand side at the clubhouse end. That has been the big score in the game, but more importantly, it's Bruff to come with the breeze in the second half.
Very important, Gerard, that and it's as we flagged, it's a freshening breeze, and it's still a freshening breeze. Yeah, Bruff got off to a perfect start, didn't allow Dromin Athlacca settle into a rhythm, and of course they learned that from the previous time when they met in round 4, because Dromin Athlacca settled in from the start and bossed, and as far as I remember, I was here on the day at one stage led by 5 points to 1. Bruff came out of the traps, and they were going to ensure that the same wasn't going to happen today, and they got those couple of early points. Dromin Athlacca pulled it back, went ahead, and then you had the goal, which could be a major turning point. But also, Ger, it's worth noting one of the statistics that Dromin Athlacca will not like in the first half. They have shot 8 wides to Bruff's 3.
Yes,
which is something that may come back to happen them. Now, I was covering the previous game in the previous semi-final between Blackrock and Effin, and it was something similar in terms of wides. Blackrock had shot 8 wides in the first half and were far more economical in the second half, so I wouldn't rule out Dromin Athlacca becoming more economical in the second half, but they will have to, because the breeze is a factor. And whilst I would have said coming up here when I was down pitch side before I come to the commentary box, I would have said, look, it was a breeze that, 1 or 2 points maybe. Now I'm beginning to revise it, that it could be a 4 or 5 point breeze, because as you said there, it has freshened. And
it has freshened even, Matt, as you said quite rightly, since the start of the game. And we look at the flag again now, absolutely. That is flying fairly strongly down to the Millmount end down here.
Down to Millmount, yeah, it's blowing very clearly down to Millmount. And if we look at the flags actually on pitch side, they're the same. So it's quite a substantial breeze. But before you go for the break, Ger, I don't like reminding you, but I should commiserate with you and your club going down today. But they have been tenants of the Premier Championship since It was inaugurated in 2014, actually. In 2014, they were the only non-South Limerick club in the Premier Championship. You probably remember that.
Yes, indeed.
But I'm really sorry for Knockadary to see him going down, and to go down in the circumstances that you said, go down on penalties. You know, it's horrible to go down, but I think it's that horror is compounded by going down on penalties. But
well, it was a game that there was absolutely nothing in right throughout. Fiona did build a bit of a lead in the second half, but it was pegged right back. It was entertaining stuff all the way through. Chances on both sides for goals and scores to seal it in both ordinary time and extra time. But it was the decisive penalties which we just found out were the settling fate. Matt, I am a traditionalist, not bitter, but a traditionalist. I'm not sure it's the best way to decide hurling games.
No, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I may take extra time, but I just can't take penalties.
Well,
and I will put my hands up and I'm saying I'm probably the quintessential ultra traditionalist, but I certainly would be very, very disappointed if my and the Glenroe Camogie team lost the county final, an under 14 county final on penalties this already this year. You know, so I know what the feeling is, but you know, it's commiserations to Knockadary. I know we've digressed quite far from what we've been looking at here between Bruff and Dromin Athlacca, but certainly it's worth noting.
Well, who knows? We may have penalties here later this afternoon. But
don't say it, George.
At the moment, we have a level game here in the beautiful Kilmallock. It's Dromin Athlacca, 9 points. Bruff, 1 goal and 6. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with us for the whole of the second half.
Bruff being a point to
fired up after this half-time team talk as the referee just about gets in the way here as Sean Moran advances and wins the throw in ahead of Michael Reedy. Off to Colin Madden. Madden trying to get away and he strikes it, bit of a touch, but it's going to drop in and over the crossbar. A fine score from Colin Madden and a signal of intent right from the throw-in ball. The youngster from Bruff sails inside and puts it over. It's James Kelleher against the breeze. Let's see how these puck outs hold up. He gets to the far 65, a little bit further than Finn, and it's David Reedy who wins the break. He swings this one in. Darragh O'Brien looking to get it in, and it's the wily old campaigner Paul Brown that's back first for the break. Back to another old campaigner, a wily one as well, and that is Jason Hayes as the Hayes wins it, second time of asking, getting it off to Gavin Bracken. Tidy as Bracken sweeps around and hits it off the left. It's going to be a 50-50 between Peter Ryan and Dermot Dennehy, and Dermot Dennehy is a judge to have come in a bit strong as Ryan was advancing, and it's going to be a free to David Reedy right in the middle of the field, right straight bang in front of our commentary position here. Good score from Colin Madden.
I'm just looking around for the potential of switches at half time. It would appear to me at a glance that there doesn't seem to be any. Now we'll get a test of the breezes. David Reedy is striking right into the breeze, and he has put it wide. I'm not so sure that the breeze was a factor there. I think possibly
from him the minute he hit it.
His radar wasn't what it used to be or what it usually is.
Good puck from Eric Finn, definitely more lint in it, but he finds the hand of the opposing halfback Shane Fitzgibbon, and he gives it off to Kevin Bonner as we've a booming one in on top of Bobby O'Brien, and trying to clean that up back there is William Dorr, and it's 3 bodies to 2. It's blue 3, red 2 as more is coming to the picture now as it looks like a blue body has it, and that's the shape of Peter Ryan, and Ryan does really, really well. And that was a super win on the ground because there was danger, and Ryan, much like his opposite number above us, Paul Brown, got back well in front of his full back line as James Kelleher, traditionally a midfielder. I remember following him around in a couple of games, and a lively one at that, but now back in the goal for the men from Dromin Athlacca as the puck up, the free is on the half back line and advancing here. It looks like the number 4 Patrick Finn was trying to spoon it away, but it's Fitzgibbon who wins it back, and he's trying to tread one through to Shawnee O'Leary. He's turned Darragh O'Brien. Can he get it up and away? O'Leary is through. He's got company coming. Can he get the shot off? He can, but it just doesn't dip and it goes over the crossbar. A vital score nonetheless. A fine score for Shawnee O'Leary, and we're back at a level game, 1-7-10 now.
A fine individual score, Ger, because he had an awful lot of work to do. He won it out near the corner, beat one defender. The second defender wasn't that easily put off, but he flicked it over the bar. A very good score from Shawnee O'Leary.
Eric Finn not opting to use the breeze, and it's with Patrick Finn now looking for a runner, and it's Kevin Bonner looking for another one. There's super pressure from David Breen. It's off to Dara Butler, but the LIT student or TUS Limerick student, he's carrying it in, and he has
caught it three times,
and it's taken very quickly, and this is David Griffin who has it. Eric Finn is off his goal line, but that was rushed, and it's gone to the right hand side and wide, and those trends of wides that Dromin Athlacca have had in the first half, well, they've had a couple in the opening number of 3.5 minutes here.
Just a couple of late scores coming in, Ger, in the Nick Green Sports Grounds Intermediate Hurling Championship semi-finals. I'll let you follow the play here.
We follow the play with James Kelleher, and Kelleher is fouled there by a combination of Bobby O'Brien, I should say, and Danny O'Leary.
In the one semi-final anyway was Croke Kilfinney 2-17, Hospital Harbourstown 13 points. That's a final score. Croke Kilfinney into the final for a third year in a row, and it's half time in the other game, and a bit of a surprise maybe unfolding there in that Marubo are leading by 16 points to 1-8
as Danny O'Leary swings this one in and puts it over the crossbar, and good score for the youngster from Bruff. And he gives his team back the advantage now. Got a bit of a clip on the knee of a Hurley as he struck it away, but a fine score. It just snuck on inside that left hand upright of James Kelleher over there.
Yeah, a fine score. He was under severe pressure, but he was able to get the shot away, and he looks as if he's. No, it is Danny is down.
Yes,
he's down here to our right at the moment.
Well, he'll be fine to continue because, well, there's a long way to go on this one. And going short to William Dorr is James Kelleher, but the ball, the second puck, only finds the hand of Paul O'Riordan, trying to get some room, swinging it in. It's trailing to the right as we look down, but it's Dorr who may be impeding Bobby O'Brien. Nothing in it, says Timmy McGrath. It's kicked back into the middle. Can Danny O'Leary get it? No, he can't. It's Mark Fitzpatrick who comes away to Peter Ryan. Now to Micheál Reedy. Reedy turning back to his right hand side and swinging one up, but I can tell you there's only red bodies there. And this is Patrick Finn coming into picture now. Finn looking to get it in the inside to Kevin Bonner, but it's gone all the way to Paul Brown, looking up the field, trying to get himself into a good position to shoot. Colin Madden has gone away if Dara Butler can find him, but it's turned over by David Reedy. Reedy strikes, but it's going right. Is it going to hold up? David Breen, it just goes over his head, and it's gone wide, and that's a third wide of this second half for Dromin Athlacca.
And we have one hell of a shower coming, I think. Unfortunately, let's hope it might skid off towards Charleville or somewhere else, but with it, of course, the breeze maybe not as strong as it was at half time, so it's
Shane Fitzgibbon putting this one in to Micheál Reedy, but spills possession, and it's with Dara Butler, and it's Kevin Bonner who decides to tidy that all up. Bonner spooning it off, but good work in there by Daniel Scully. Of course, Cian Scully, a big loss to the Dromin Athlacca side here this afternoon, an All-Ireland winner with Ard Sculreich, of course, in the Crop a number of years ago, and really a massive loss to his club team today.
Oh yeah, and a key player with Limerick under 20s last year. Cian Scully is an absolutely huge loss. He was one of the players, of course, that they would be looking for, to rebuild their team around. But of course, he will probably be back next year.
And this is Dara Butler with breeze at his back, but that's falling short. Bobby O'Brien pulling, but well held by William Dorr. And it's Mark Fitzpatrick looking to tidy up. Danny O'Leary for company, and Fitzpatrick coming back inside, finding Shane Scully. A lot of these Scullys on this side, and it's the aforementioned Shane who has been fouled. And just a chance to get this one away. Peter Ryan standing over it now, breeze in his face. 7 minutes of the second half gone. His side trailed by one single score, and it's down to try and get his half forward line away, but again a flood of bodies, and that's Gavin Bracken who spills it to the ground after having it in his hand. And again, it's anybody's ball now. It seems like a blue man has it. It seems that he threw it, says Timmy McGrath. It is that he threw it, and it's going to be a free to Bruff, and this is suiting Bruff at the moment. It's stop-start, and they have the breeze. They'll use it.
And Paul they have a point lead. I know it's a tenuous and a narrow lead, but they have it. And Paul Brown now is delivering this long.
And it's James Kelleher opting to let it slip by him. And it's just over the heads of the full forwards in there. And it's what they'd say in some places it was a harmless wide as it comes long down to Gavin Bracken. Break one by Reedy. Reedy getting into space here now, moving off to his favourite left side. Reedy strikes it, but it's going to go to the right hand side and wide. As Matt talks about that shower, I can tell you that it has arrived in Kilmallock, and it's going to be vicious as the breeze picks up. You may well hear it upon our microphones as I look down at the tricolour down to our left hand side. It's Eric Finn who will be happy to have that breeze at his back now as it goes all the way down. Well, that's on beyond the 45. It's broken off the it hasn't gone out of play. It's Sean Moran to Colin Madden, but Madden's shot is going to go right, and it's going to go wide, looking for a 65 were the Bruffmen. Timmy McGrath's half entertaining it, waiting for the umpire to make a call on it. Can't quite make a call on it myself because it's going to be a 65, says the ULA official, as it just took a touch off of Colin Madden as the ball left his hurley. So 1-8 to 10 again now, and that shower as well here.
I think this father and son officialdom combining there, because that looks like Timmy's dad, Tim, down there, that's doing the umpire. So it's a 65 for Dara Butler. The rain is nothing more than they say in the country a squib. Hopefully it will stay at that, but Dara Butler is lining up to double his side's lead of 1 point.
And Butler hits it, but it skews and it goes to the right hand side and wide. So still just a one between them after 10 minutes of this second half. It's James Kelleher going to put Micheál Reedy back into it again with the free taker just momentarily. That's Dara Butler, but it's Kevin Bonner who comes in, and again possession spilled, and Reedy looking to push that ball to the inside line to the ever lively Jack Fitzgibbon, and Fitzgibbon does well, got a man off his shoulder, he decides to use him. This is Daniel Scully, and Scully levels the game in Kilmallock. A fine score from Daniel Scully off of the shoulder of Jack Fitzgibbon. A fine score for the youngster as the puck out goes short to Jason Hayes looking to make ground out of the clubhouse goal in Kilmallock, but he's lost it, and the calmness of Paul Brown comes in off to Gavin Bracken, and it's long, but Peter Ryan is taking up a really good position, and it's a half hook there by Sean Murnan, and it's going to be a sideline cut, and it was
because it was clearly off the stick of Peter Ryan, so it's going to be a line ball. Danny O'Leary is coming over to take it. I think he packs a good line ball.
Yes, he does, and it's Chris Brown coming onto the field of play here. So we just wait and see who is coming out. It's Chris Brown definitely on, and we're looking around to see, and it's Diarmuid Dennehy who is taken out of the fray. Had a fine opening first half. He was amongst a lot of play in that half forward line where puck outs were coming high and long, and the aforementioned official's dad, Matt, is calling his son to discuss something that has just taken place down at the goal. Nothing too untoward, I can tell you. Game is being played in great spirit, both neighbours and friends, but today Dromin, Athlacca and Bruff, bitter rivals.
Bitter rivals for at least 90 minutes today, but it'll be interesting to see. I think he might just say to one or two players down there, lads, I know what happened, calm it down. Well, and that's exactly what he has done. And meanwhile, Danny O'Leary all this while is lining up with the line ball. Now Chris Brown is going to add something to this Bruff team, as you have known in the past. He's a man that can get scores. And
great hand in there by David Brown as the ball is turned over from him though, and it's Mark Fitzpatrick that comes out, and it's a real tough game as Colin Madden is calling his inside line to stand in tight. This is a war of attrition here. There's nothing between these teams as Peter Ryan looks to get Dromin, Athlacca sailing at the far side of the field, but the breaking ball is favoured with Paul Brown to Dara Butler, off to the aforementioned Madden now, looking to try and get Bobby O'Brien away, but he hadn't anticipated it, and it's Peter Ryan who did, off to Shane Fitzgibbon now, but it just eludes him as it's broken away by David Griffin. No free forthcoming as the ball is again spilled and is on the ground, anyone's possession. It's Gavin Bracken that has it to Dara Butler, to Sean Murnan. Bodies and hands going in everywhere, akin to some of the rugby that we'll be seeing later on this evening, but here's a man that can strike a ball. It's Paul Brown swinging it to the edge of the square. Two Bruffmen collide as James Kelleher tidies. It's off to Shane Rabbit, who's got space and time, but it looks like David Brown is coming for him as he finds the far line here to Jack Fitzgibbon, and Fitzgibbon has just got inside his man Patrick Finn, but ball is held on the ground, and again it's Paul Brown who tidies it up to Colin Madden coming across. Madden has the runner in Sean Murnan. Two tackles coming on him, but it's Dara Butler who tries to skew it away to Christopher Brown, but David Reedy puts it in to David Breen, and Breen and Jason Hayes having a fair old battle in there. Kevin Bonner arriving for company, and now it's Peter McMahon back there, and it's Bonner and the Bruff rear guard who have won the free and the free out, and it's much to the annoyance of the big Dromin, Athlacca following here this afternoon.
And to the mentors and the management team down here in front of us, really annoyed, throwing off caps and hats and all kinds of headgear getting scratched here, whilst disappointed to have given away that free. It was probably a tight call, but again the referee was much nearer to it than we are, Ger. We're quite a distance away from it here in our vantage point,
and it's difficult because those conditions are difficult underfoot. There's lots of players spilling ball and on the ground losing their footing, so it's hard to judge those.
Very hard to judge those, but
and it's still a draw game here after 15 minutes of play in this second half, but it's Bruff who have the advantage, and maybe, well, we would have felt that they might have been a little bit more ahead than they were, but they are not at the minute, as Eric Finn strikes this one long down, and it's broken away by David Reedy off to Colin Madden, and Madden puts it in, but it's going to beat everybody and goes harmlessly to the right hand side and wide. Little bit more being urged from both teams underneath us. It's the Bruff Mentors just underneath us here on our right hand side. Dromin Athlacca Mentors at the far side, but one or two have snuck to this side of the field to offer encouragement and to fight for every ball. It's Paul Brown who is going to put this one up to the clouds, again trying to find Bobby O'Brien, but it breaks behind him, and James Kelleher lively off the line, off now to Shane Fitzgibbon. He's got green grass, but he decides to pump it up, and he pumps it up to Jack Fitzgibbon as the ball again favours a defender back there, and it's Patrick Finn to Jason Hayes. He's just launching it now, and again we've got a big gap between half forward and half full forward line, and it's Shane Fitzgibbon with a little bit of time who decides to tidy up. All-Ireland winner David Reedy goes off on a run. He'll fancy a shot. He's got distance. Has he got accuracy? He doesn't. It goes to the right hand side and wide. Both teams quite guilty, Matt, of hitting poor wides in the second half.
Absolutely, and the wide count in this half is 5-4 in favour of Dromin Athlacca. Just a quick update from the Gaelic grounds, Jar. We're into the second half of extra time, and it's now in the PIHC 2-23, Dromin Athlacca 28 points.
Well, here's Christopher Brown, and Matt said he was a man that could get a score, and he just has done that with his very first touch of the game. He watched for the break, he snuck in behind, up and away, and a fine score for the man from Bruff, whose first touch brings him onto the score sheet. 47 minutes nearly being played here, and it's a yellow card for Peter Ryan. I didn't see what happened. Maybe it was something that occurred in the last play, but we were following where James Kelleher is now. It's
we have seen from the start that Timmy McGrath is very, very strict on anything that might happen after the ball is gone.
Well, it's David Breen just underneath us here for Bruff, and he's come out from that full forward berth. It's Paul Brown, who's had a stormer today. Just a very simple game as he gives it off to brother Chris, and it's going to fall short, and James Kelleher has dropped it, and there's a chance around here, and it's bobbling around the square, but well tidied by William Dorr back there. Rock solid. Here's another man that's been that way as well, and that's Peter Ryan. That's Darragh O'Brien hand passing it off, and well, plenty of encouragement down here for Timmy McGrath to blow for a throw ball as Shawnee O'Leary wins a free. And Shawnee O'Leary with David Breen has come far from his full forward line. I see Micheál Reedy has gone in. He's kind of a lone striker up there at the moment with young Fitzgibbon, Jack Fitzgibbon around him. So both Breen now and Shawnee O'Leary operating in this half forward line, as David Reedy has an opportunity to tie this game back up again.
And Mike Reedy is in, as you say, to dampen the influence of Jason Hayes, who has been very good back there all day, you know. So this is within David Reedy's compass,
and he has all of the accuracy required, and that's a fine score from David Reedy. And he has been very influential both in play and on the scoreboard today, and he brings the game to a level game. We're well inside the last quarter here in Kilmallock, who is going to be joining Blackrock in the Premier Intermediate Hurling Final of 2023. Peter Ryan breaks it across. We will have the answer to that maybe in the next 15 minutes. Maybe we could have to wait a little bit longer. It's David Griffin pushing that one inside to Jack Fitzgibbon. You just feel the next score is going to be vital whatever way it comes. It's Paul Brown roll rising this out of a body of players, and it's off to Sean Murnan, pulled on, but it's favoured with David Reedy, and Shane Fitzgibbon is emerging from defence to take that ball, and it gets away easily from Paul O'Riordan. Fitzgibbon is still travelling. He's gone breaking the 45. He hasn't a catch left. He's got to strike it from the hurley. That he does, but it's going over the crossbar. A decisive score here in Kilmallock, and it's the youngster Shane Fitzgibbon who's given it, and the pendulum has swung, and it's swung back into the favour of Dromin Athlacca. The breeze has died. The flag is pointing to the ground as Peter Ryan steps underneath this one. Colin Madden wins it, trying to get it away, and Ryan, who has been resolute at number 6, is trying to get his team moving forward to find that next score. It's off to Kevin Bonner. Kevin Bonner stepping inside, and again Bonner as a judge to have taken too many steps, and that is a huge moment in the game, offering David Reedy a chance to put 2 between them.
Absolutely, the pendulum has very, very much swung in favour of Dromin Athlacca, and that was an absolutely inspirational score by Shane Fitzgibbon. It would lift any team, and David Reedy, as you rightly have pointed out, he has the opportunity, and I certainly for one wouldn't be backing anything against him.
Well, Fitzgibbon's score, it'll be one of the highlights of this game. He was on his own half-back line when he got that, and he travelled a fair amount through a lot of bodies, as David Reedy is going to give us a chance to see what he can do with it. But no, his accuracy is off, Matt. The radar is off there. That breeze has picked again. It is significant. It died there for a couple of minutes, but it's blowing ever so slightly with Bruff and at their backs, as Eric Finn wants to play it short to Dara O'Brien, a member of that under-19 winning squad last season, as Matt referenced earlier on in the commentary. And it's Jason Hayes trying to find Paul O'Riordan, but Peter Ryan definitely a candidate for hurler of the game in this match today, to David Griffin again spooning this one in. It's David Breen who's gone back into full forward, and Jason Hayes, well, he puts his own man out of the way as the ball is on the ground. Paul Brown moving this away, and Brown does really well to get away from Mike Reedy, and that's a fine win from Paul Brown and Matt Boats.
Very, very good play by Paul Brown there, because he was being harassed first of all by Michael Reedy, and a second Dromin Athlacca player came in to help, but Paul fended it all off, and has now delivered a long free down.
And it's off to Danny O'Leary. Good block there by Shane Fitzgibbon, and it's with Peter Ryan. Ryan is coming out with this one, and favours his left, his favourite side. It's 2 Athlacca men coming underneath it, but Dara O'Brien spoils possession. It's on the ground. It's Mike Reedy who's going to come away from it, looking for a runner. He's got Daniel Scully with him. There's a man ahead if he decides to play him, but touch just lets him down, and it's gone out over the sideline, and it's going to be a sideline ball to Bruff. Conditions are poor. Both sixes, Matt, having a huge influence. Peter Ryan having a fine game as well.
Absolutely outstanding at centre half back is Peter Ryan. I saw him playing earlier in the year, and it was a similar story with him. He's absolutely immense there. He's the team captain, and he's leading from the front. Absolutely a tremendous. That's a great cut from Paul Brown.
Cut from Paul Brown, and he's broken away from the hand of Paul O'Riordan, and David Reedy is the first to react, and a touch from Shawnee Murnan. Touch on the helmet. We'll probably see him going for a tick. No, it's nothing too untoward, says the referee, and it's going to be David Reedy. Well,
he is
now getting the yellow.
He's getting the yellow card
just
now.
Checked the book to see. He gave him a tick, and then I'd say he realised that he was already ticked. It's the men in blue and white who are facing the last 7 minutes of this, 1 point ahead. David Reedy opting to put it long. David Breen has got a hand. It's spilled from it, not from the first time today. Paul Brown decides to just get this one out, and it's broken the way of Kevin Bonner. Bonner off to Murnan. Murnan swings it left hand down to Bobby O'Brien, but William Dorr has anticipated and snuck out in front and has left it fall back to Shane Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon hits this one out over the sideline, and Shane Fitzgibbon's dad, John, of course, was a hurler of renown for Dromin Athlacca many, many years ago. I think it might have been the mid-90s when Dromin Athlacca were junior. I remember him having a sterling performance against Skeeton Ballysteen in a county junior hurling final. That wasn't today or yesterday, as the aforementioned son is there once more, but it's his opposite number, Paul O'Riordan, who has it. Riordan gets it back into the middle, and it's broken away, and it's favoured to Dromin Athlacca, and it's David Reedy, who's adjudged to have been fouled by Danny O'Leary, and Timmy McGrath is accepting a slip, Matt, and we'll check for the substitute. Again, one of those calls that could go either way.
He's number 17,
David Mullins.
It's Michael Reedy is coming off.
So Michael Reedy was operating in that full forward berth, but has made way, and David Mullins coming on for this last 5.5 minutes plus, and we will have plus here because there has been a number of stoppages, and it's a 1-point game. We haven't had a lot of scores in the second half. I think we mentioned after 20 minutes of the game we were waiting for it to come to life. It's been an attritional battle.
It hasn't come to life as such in terms of hurling. It has been a good, hard, old-style championship game. No quarters asked, no quarters given.
An October championship game.
October championship game that lacked continuous periods of fluency from either side. But, good championship hurling, it takes you back in time, certainly, because it is so close. The marking is so close, and the blocks that are got in, it's
the conditioning of every player now is, they're so physical. Players are so
absolutely
physical now.
So physical, even down to club level. We keep hearing him saying about international level and county
really
level.
Puts it all the way in. This is really dangerous, and it's called by Timmy McGrath. So Matthew, we're just making the point about international level as we watch Owen Meany, fresh from the John the Baptist Community Schools win at Harty Cup level on Wednesday. Meany comes into the field of play as we see number 19 Michael O'Riordan coming on as well, and it's David Brown is 1 to go.
Colin
watching
Madden is gone.
Colin Madden come off as well. So Meany, a highly influential figure in that game, I can tell you, on Wednesday last against Castletroy College. Will he have the same influence in the last 6 or 7 minutes in this game here in Kilmallock as Kevin Bonner tries to get it away? It's off to Christopher Brown. Brown is blocked, and it's David Reedy who's come away. Reedy has been solid and rock solid there for Dromin Athlacca. Off to the new man in. That is David Mullins. Mullins strikes this one, but it goes to the right hand side and wide. Again, Mullins' first touch of the game. Bruff in a little bit of a hurry now. They're 1 down. There's loads left. But there's 5 left, but there's going to be a lot more than that, I would imagine, by the time this game is concluded. It's Christopher Brown breaking it off, and there's a touch on the helmet there of his by the number 7, his opposite number, Shane Rabbit. And this a chance to tie up the game, and we're going to have a card here for the Dromin Athlacca man. And there it is. So 19-13. You'd fancy Dara Butler here now.
You would. It's a crucial score because in open play Dromin Athlacca have a measure of control, even though they're only a point up. But this could be an absolutely crucial score.
And that's it. We're going to have a flag, and it's going to be white because Dara Butler has just tied up the teams here. Operating at half forward now is Butler. And, well, possession vital now for both sides. Scores at a premium here in Kilmallock. We're in for a grandstand finish as David Reedy puts his big hand up. There's a flood of bodies around him as he somehow manages to move away. But he takes too many steps as he does so. And Danny O'Leary clenches the fist, and he knows again it's a chance for Dara Butler to make that pendulum swing back once more to the side wearing red.
Absolutely, and David knew it when he walked away after hearing the referee's whistle. So Dara Butler, it's a huge free for the young man, only just out of under 19 ranks. Huge prospect, Dara Butler. So
both free takers have missed frees here today, but will Butler give the advantage back to Bruff? He won't. It will go to the right hand side and wide, and it's as you were. It's as you were as we face the final minute and a half. James Kelleher doesn't get the contact he wanted on it. Off to Chris Brown. It's an inviting one from Brown. It goes over the crossbar. And James Kelleher just sliced it as it came off his hurley. It didn't get the clean connection, and it ended up in the hand of Brown. And it's Bruff by 1 now, as again he goes opposite side to Reedy, to the ground. It's with Peter McMahon, but there's so many in there. It's Daniel Scully who's won it, and Scully now gets the free for Athlacca, and it's a chance for the Dromin Athlacca men to restore the draw parity here as we head into the final minute of play in Kilmallock. It's in, Matt. It's fascinating stuff, and again both free takers having a big say in this one, and it's pressure on David Reedy now to bring his side back to parity here as Reedy lifts and strikes. Eric Finn walks away because he knows it's gone over the crossbar, and he knows that we are playing for the winning score in Kilmallock. It's long, high and deep from the stick of Finn. It breaks off of the hand of Christopher Brown. It's with a number of bodies, but it's with David Reedy more importantly. It's turning defence into attack to David Breen. Breen's got a man outside him. Dara has fouled him. It's David Mullins who's got the advantage. We're coming back for a free, and that could have been more than just a free if Mullins had won the possession. A super win from David Breen to allow for the free to take place. Just a high hurley from Dara O'Brien.
Yeah, just interesting news from the Gaelic grounds in that it has gone to penalties.
My word.
And the PIHC are winning by 2 penalties to 1 after 3 penalties.
Well, if you're watching this stream and watching RT, well, you're getting fair value at the moment.
Absolutely. And we're going to have the lead for Dromin and Athlacca here. David Reedy.
17 seconds into additional time, and it's Dromin and Athlacca being urged to hold the line. They're one ahead as Eric Finn goes long and high, not for the first time, to the ground it goes. Who will win this ruck ball from here? Vital. It's a stalemate just at the moment, and it's a blue man that has it, and that's Peter McMahon. Decides to put hurley to it, to Shawnee O'Leary, off to Mark Fitzpatrick, coming back into the middle. Buff to David Reedy. Reedy sells the dummy. He's got a man outside. That's David Breen. He's far from that full forward berth. Breen inside to Daniel Scully. Scully swinging around. Back to Reedy on the 45. Planted foot. A 2-point game in Bruff or in Kilmallock, and it looks like Dromin and Athlacca are going towards the county Premier Intermediate hurling final. But Jason Hayes has ball back in play. A dangerous lead as this one hits the edge of the tee off of the boot of Bobby O'Brien, and it's Paul O'Riordan looking to take it forward, making ground. Has he been impeded? No, he hasn't, says the referee. O'Riordan, he has it again in his hand, trying to get it away, and he's fouled possession. He has fouled possession, says Timmy McGrath. A vital moment there as we're hitting 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes of additional time play.
Yeah, it's absolutely vital there. The Dromin and Athlacca defence absolutely held for him, but more importantly, they held their discipline. Absolutely. So it's a free out. Now there are 2 Dromin and Athlacca players down at the moment. There was coming together there of a lot of players. I'm just trying to pick out who they might be, but anyway, it's 16 points to
I would fancy Peter Ryan is one of those players, and well, it is. He is one. He's the one that's standing, and it's David Reedy who has the other. And we're talking about men who have led the line today. Well, those 2 men have done that very much so. They have been outstanding, and they walk away and they decide to let James Kelleher to hit this. And Matt, just go back to the last score from Reedy. You know, a super possession. He has covered some amount of ground.
Absolutely, he has been magnificent out there. You know, it's what you expect from a fella that has won so much in the game. But David Reedy, he never fails to give it to in the
real
colours of
hunger as we
Athlacca.
watch Sean O'Leary coming inside. Super snap in the air. He's got men inside if he wants to play him. He opts to turn and swing, and that's a 3-point advantage for Dromin and Athlacca. And well, there I won't call it. Puck out is on the way. Bruff need a goal. Christopher Brown striking it in long, and it's going to be another point. We've a point from Christopher Brown. It makes it a 2-point game. We're 3.5 minutes into additional time. Everybody looking at Timmy McGrath. It looks like he's stepping towards James Kelleher. Is he going to blow the full-time whistle? We'll see what happens. Yes, he does. And it's Dromin and Athlacca who are in the county Premier Intermediate hurling final. It will be Blackrock themselves. They will contest the decider. And Matt, a grandstand finish here in Kilmallock.
A grandstand finish, which it was pointing to that, I suppose, from very, very early on, Ger. There was nothing between them, and it was a question of who would find that final spot on the home straight, and it was Dromin and Athlacca, and they're absolutely delighted. They're ecstatic out there. You can see it. Very, very good win from the men from Dromin and Athlacca, and as you said, they will face Blackrock in the final. And you would have to say, Ger, I don't think there can be any argument about the merits of their win. I think they're worthy winners this evening, and it's the second time that they have beaten Bruff in the championship, which in itself is a difficult thing to do, and especially like they recovered from what was a flying start by Bruff, and from a Dromin Athlacca point of view, they recovered from what they will regard as the concession of a sloppy goal.
Yes.
Because as you rightly flagged during commentary, you felt it might have been a mishit free, because it certainly hadn't height, and whilst that was the case, it was still a difficult ball to defend. But they will be disappointed that they hadn't their ducks in order, to defend that. So it's Dromin Athlacca move on, and they move on in merit, and it's going to be a very, very, very interesting county final in 2 weeks tomorrow in the Gaelic grounds. I think it's time for 3:15. Bruff players are walking off there. They're very disconsolate and very, very hard to blame him. James Reardon, who would be normally starting, and he's walking off there. He was injured and missed it. So look, you cannot argue Dromin Athlacca are in the final. And Ger, we know that Dromin Athlacca's record, particularly in intermediate finals. They have won 4 or 5 of them in the last 10 or 11 years at the lower level, granted, but this is their first time having a sortie into the
Premier Final.
Premier Final.
And we just bring you news from the Gaelic grounds, Matt. I can tell you that it's gone the way of na PIHC by my reckoning, that they have won the penalty shootout.
Yeah.
So it's teams in blue and white having double wins on the stream and on the television today.
But I was just about to mention there, and I hate singling out people. Now, Peter Ryan was absolutely outstanding. So was David Reedy. But I just mentioned somebody that didn't poke a ball out there, but poked every ball with him, was their manager, Ger Hickey. Quite a competent operator, and of course he was a member of Clare's All-Ireland winning backroom team this year.
The minor hurlers.
The minor hurlers. He's a Broadford man now, domiciled in Limerick. I've said to him that he has split loyalties, but there's the hope of it in God, certainly. But Ger is very, 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 very accomplished.
Look at this, and you'll see the pictures on screen now, just to see Peter Ryan, and I can tell you he's giving it as passionate a speech now as he would have before the game, and he's just talking about the heart and determination shown in the second half. Just listening, if I can, very so tentatively to his words, and they know that this is a huge victory for them and their club. They've got young lads, of course, Matt. They were winners of the under-21 B county title last year at the expense of my own club, I must say. But
absolutely.
A fine game that was, and they've got a lot of good young players. Jack Fitzgibbon was very good there in that second half. Shawnee O'Leary, we know of the last number of years, who struck a fine score finishing up, and we've mentioned in commentary, and we will mention it again, because the access of David Reedy at 9 and Peter Ryan at 6 were the real foundation platform that Dromin Athlacca have built this victory.
And that Bruff were not able to manage during the course of the game. Now, they started slowly, but Peter Ryan was in the game from the start. David Reedy had a couple of uncharacteristic misses, both from play and from frees, but he was absolutely outstanding. Big games like this, small margins, fine margins, you need leaders.
And that score he got there, Matt. And we had said that the next one was going to be crucial. And it worked in. He took up a super position, and the ball was played back out to him. I think it was by Daniel Scully. Gave the ball back out, and he put it over. And that was the real momentum shifter.
What he brings to this team, and particularly to the young players around him, is that he's always available. When they're in possession, he's an option for him. And you mentioned about he covering ground. He was back here, he was down here, and he was given the option to his two young wing backs, Shane Fitzgibbon and Shane Rabbit. He was available for him. Likewise, when he went into the half forward line, and Daniel Scully and Peter McMahon were looking for support. Where did it come from? David Reedy.
And Just watching the aforementioned Ger Hickey there, taking the circle, and well, as we said, a man of huge calibre and experience, and bringing his edge to Dromin and Athlacca, and it certainly was evident out there today. They go to the county final, Matt. You've seen both semi-finals today. It's a 2-week kind of a break and a turnaround. Who has impressed you most? What way would you think that it might go?
They both have impressed me very much, I have to say. Both have impressed me. I was very, very impressed with Blackrock today. I saw a new Blackrock that I hadn't seen this year. And I saw the big men in Blackrock really, really, really standing up. I'm talking about the Richie McCarthy's. I'm talking about the Liam Walshes. Talking about the Paddy Leahys. Young player Colm O'Keefe. Really, really, really to the fore. And, and Des O'Brien is waving up with us here as he collects the flags. He will be in the Gaelic grounds tomorrow anyway, looking at his grandson Shane O'Brien. But, look, it's too close to call. I was very impressed today. There were different types of games, but like Bruff were really in this game right up to the finish. But Effin were just trading Blackrock. But you could never see him overtaking him.
This game swung in the final moments.
Final moments, and Blackrock, to me, bossed the game from start to finish. And got a vice-like grip. And what really impressed me about Blackrock in particular was the level of intensity they brought to the game. And not just the level of intensity they brought for the first half, but the level of intensity was there in the last 5 minutes, the same level of intensity. Like it was a masterstroke by the master tactician himself, Peter Finn, the way he sent them out today.
Well, it's going to be one hell of a battle in the Gaelic grounds, and county finals, we know they take a life on of their own, and it's sometimes not the best team that wins them, but the team that can manage the occasion and manage to get themselves to get to a good level of performance in a county final. And going to the Gaelic grounds brings its own margin of having to deal with that, especially with younger players now. But as we know, all these players are well used to playing in the big stadium now. So it's going to be a really, really good battle. It's one that we will very much look forward to. And I think, Matt, the best way to say it is it's too close to call.
Too close to call.
Well,
and we'll reflect on it over the coming weeks, John, before we will be put on the spot to make a judgment as to who we think might win.
Yes, and thank you all for your company this afternoon here in Kilmallock. It's Dromin and Athlacca who have seen themselves into a county Premier Intermediate hurling final. They will face neighbours southern neighbours Blackrock in the county final in 2 weeks' time. They have beaten near and close rivals Bruff on a scoreline of 17 points to 112 in what was an enthralling and oft times very, very entertaining game here in Kilmallock. We thank you for your company. We hope you enjoyed our stream. I thank my co-commentator Matt O'Callaghan and Kevin Daly on camera, and Matt, more importantly, for deputising right at the beginning of the game for my good self. I think there might be a future still left for you in that microphone calling games.
No, I think it'll be back the other way. It's back to the future. I'd say I was that to say, I got involved in the tailback down the Bruff Road.
Yes.
But of course I knew the way to come up the Well Road, and I got straight up here to the ground. There was a way around here.
I'll have to learn that geography from you. From Kevin Daly, Matt O'Callaghan and myself, Ger Downs, thank you very much for your company this afternoon. Our congratulations to Dromin and Athlacca, and that is that from Kilmallock here in this county Premier Intermediate hurling semi-final.
Been a point to
left. It's going to be a 50-50 between Peter Ryan and Dermot Dennehy. And Dermot Dennehy, can he get it up and away? O'Leary is through. He's got company coming. Can he get the shot off? He can, but it just doesn't dip and it goes over the
holding there in that Marub Bohar are leading by 16 points to 1-8.
As Danny O'Leary swings this one in and puts it over the crossbar, Fitzgibbon, and Fitzgibbon does well. Got a man off his shoulder. He decides to use him. This is Daniel Scully, and Scully levels the game in Kilmallock.
28. Doon. It was a question of who would find that